Howdy howdy, my name is John, and this video is a combination review and discussion on the novel Fire Sale by Piers, which is the 42nd book in the Xanth series. The latter half of this video does contain spoilers, so I will give you notification of when I'm about to begin discussing spoilers. After I got about 2 or 3 chapters into this book, I got really excited. I thought maybe, just maybe, I might actually have a 5-star novel on my hands. Didn't quite turn out to be 5 stars. It winds up only being a 4-star novel for me. The characters are very relatable very early on in the novel. This novel follows 2 people. Dale is a 21-year-old man, and Nia is a 60-year-old woman. And they meet on their way to the good magician Humphrey's castle because they have more or less been summoned to complete a service for Humphrey. I also found the pacing of puns to be more enjoyable than I have seen in the past. In a lot of the previous novels, the puns will come all in bunches. However, in this novel, Anthony sprinkles them in periodically and doesn't overload one's senses. However, as this novel continues, little things started to annoy me. The following portion of this video discusses spoilers. The first thing that annoyed me in this novel was a reference back to my least favorite Xanth novel, which is 2 to the 5th. In that novel, a 12-year-old girl uses a spell to magically age herself, and she seduces a cyborg. Now, in this novel, it actually explains that the 12-year-old girl is exchanging places with the 22-year-old woman that she will grow up to be. So it makes the novel a little less, that previous novel a little less creepy, but that novel is still creepy to me. So I didn't particularly care for that reference to that old novel. The second thing that annoyed me about this novel is at one point Dale, Nia, and their companions visit an alternate world. This world has dragons and 3 moons. A white moon, a red moon, and a black moon. If this sounds familiar to you, that's because it sounds very much like the world Dragonlance is set in. Now, this isn't Dragonlance, but it did confuse me there for a little bit as to whether or not that Anthony had actually crossed over to that world. This actually is an issue because one of the characters is from an alternate intellectual property that Anthony had previously gotten permission to use in the Xanth novels. The next thing that annoyed me was that this novel reintroduced one of my favorite characters, the Pet Peeve, who is a bird who can rest upon someone else's shoulder and speak in their voice, and he typically does this to insult other people. Now, in the previous novel, it's humorous, and in this one, he is also humorous. However, his amusing quality is neutralized early in the novel, and then he never does it again, which kind of annoys me that they would introduce a character who is entertaining for one specific reason and then not use that reason in the majority of the novel. The next thing that annoyed me concerns when the group goes to visit the dream world. They visit the dream world to conquer their fears. One of the group is a preteen boy named Santo, who is gay. Xanth happens to be the first gay character in a Xanth novel, and he is introduced in an earlier novel. His fear is acceptance by strangers, and he must face a large crowd and announce that he is gay. And of course, at first, the crowd does not approve. Then he is able to individually explain himself and get them all to agree. The problem with this is that really this challenge should have been for Xanth to accept the fact that some people will never accept who he is, and that he must learn how to live and let live. At least that's my opinion. Nia, on the other hand, must face her fear of heights. And while nearly everyone else has to face their fear alone, Dale actually has to help Nia face her fear, which isn't really a satisfying conclusion to her fear either. Another thing about this novel that annoyed me is that Dale begins the novel as an immature man. Rare in Xanth novels, Dale actually has the ability to tell women no. He can actually think and determine if a course of action concerning an individual woman would be in his long-term benefit or not. However, at the end of the novel, he's still an immature man. He doesn't really grow in this novel. The last thing that annoyed me about this book is the fact that it's entirely predictable. Nia and Dale are tasked to find the new owners for a magical boat. This boat has a sail made of fire, hence the name of the novel. At the end of the book, it's revealed that Nia and Dale are the new owners of the boat. The journey that the novel details was a trial to ensure that they were the proper owners of the boat. Now, you may remember that Nia was 60 years old at the beginning of the novel. In Xanth, there is a fountain of youth. Nia must cross this fountain of youth to retrieve the keys for the boat and then return. This process youthens her to approximately the same age as Dale. Now, I know I've complained a lot about this novel, but I still found it to be an enjoyable read. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.